Lord be with you and with your spirit.
Lectura
A
del
reading from the
Santo
Holy
Evangelio
Gospel
según
according
San
to
Mateo.
Matthew. Glory to you, O Lord.
Cuando se marcharon los magos,
When the Magi
el
had
ángel del
departed,
Señor
behold,
se
the angel of the Lord
apareció
appeared to
en
Joseph in a dream
sueños a
and
José
said,
y le dijo,
Rise, take the child and his
levántate,
mother,
coge
flee
al
to
niño
Egypt,
y a su madre
and stay
y
there
huye
until I
a
tell you.
Egipto.
Herod is
Quédate
going to
allí
search for the child
hasta
to
que yo
destroy
te
him.
avise, porque Herodes va a
Joseph
buscar
rose and
al
took the
niño
child and his mother by
para
night and
matarlo.
departed for Egypt.
José se levantó,
He stayed there
cogió
until the
al
death of
niño y a
Herod,
su madre de
that what the
noche
Lord
se
had
fue a
said through the
Egipto
prophet
y
might be
se quedó
fulfilled.
hasta la muerte de
Out of
Herodes.
Egypt I called my son.
Así se cumplió lo que
When
dijo
Herod
el
realized that he
Señor
had
por
been
el
deceived
profeta.
by the Magi,
Llamé a
he
mi
became
hijo para
furious.
que saliera de Egipto.
Massacre of all the boys in Bethlehem,
Al verse
and
burlado
its
por los magos,
2 years
Herodes
old and
montó
under,
en cólera
in
y
accordance
mandó
with the
matar a
time he
todos
had
los
ascertained
niños de
from the
2
Magi.
años para abajo en Belén,
Then was fulfilled what had been
sus
said through Jeremiah the
alrededores.
prophet.
Calculando el
A
tiempo por
voice
lo
was
que
heard in
habían
Ramah,
averiguado de
sobbing
los
and loud
magos.
lamentation,
Entonces se cumplió
Rachel weeping
el
for her
oráculo
children,
del profeta
and she would not be
Jeremías.
consoled,
Un grito se
since
oye
they
en
were
Ramá,
no more.
llanto y lamentos grandes. Es Raquel que llora por sus hijos y rehúsa el consuelo porque ya no vienen. Palabra
The Gospel
del
of the
Señor.
Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Muy buenas
Good
tardes a
afternoon,
todos.
everyone.
En medio de la luz
In the midst
de
of the
la
light
Navidad,
of Christmas,
estamos a los pies de
we
la
are
cruz
at the
ese día.
foot of the cross on this day.
La tragedia
The
de
tragedy
los mártires
of the
inocentes.
holy innocents, martyrs.
Arqueológicamente,
Archaeologically,
piensan que
it is
los
believed
pequeños pueblos
that
de
the
Belén, de Betseor y también de
Bethlehem,
Ancarim
Betseor, and
tal vez tenían
Ankarim
entre 150
had about
familias en cada
350 families in each
pueblo. Se
place.
conocieron muy bien.
They knew each other very well.
Muchos de estas familias
Many of these families
cerraron las puertas
closed the
a la
doors
Virgen y a San José,
to Our Lady and Saint Joseph
buscando un lugar
when they were looking for
para quedarse
a
y
place to
guardar a
stay
Jesús.
to give birth to
¿Qué
Jesus.
pasó esta noche?
But what happened this evening? Saint Joseph, by his perfect
Con
obedience,
ese recogimiento
with this
interior y
interior
fuerza,
recollection,
entendió que
and
tuvo
with
que
fortitude, he understood
salir
that
con
he
la
had to
madre al niño a
flee
Egipto
with the
para
mother and the
salvar
child
sus
to
vidas.
Egypt to save their lives.
Nadie menos que el rey
No one less than the king
estaba
of
buscando
Judea was looking
matar a su hijo.
to kill his son.
Y saliendo de Belén,
And leaving
por los
Bethlehem
montes,
through the mountains and
estaba
valleys,
escuchando las voces,
he was listening to
las
the
voces,
voices,
los gritos de las familias,
the cries and
de sus tíos, de sus
families,
primos,
uncles,
de sus nipotes.
relatives.
Dolor.
What pain.
Los primos, sobrinos,
The
casi,
cousins,
no de San José, exactamente.
not of Saint Joseph.
Bien. Por eso los
That's
homilías
why
son
the
un poco más
homilies are a
interesantes,
little bit more interesting
si escuchan muy bien.
if you listen very well.
Entonces,
And so,
para que entiendan,
so that you
sus
understand,
primos, primos, así es.
the cousins' cousins.
Es como la vía crucis de San José.
It's like the way of the cross of Saint Joseph.
No está cargando la cruz,
He's carrying
está
the
cargando
cross.
la Virgen
He's not carrying the cross, he's carrying Our Lady and the child.
y la pasión ha comenzado.
And the passion has begun very strongly in Bethlehem.
¿Qué tenía en su corazón?
What did they have in their
Los
hearts?
tesoros más importantes.
The most important treasures.
San José en
Saint
medio de
Joseph,
los
in the midst of
sufrimientos
the
y
suffering
dolores,
and the pain,
estaba guardando
he was
cuidadosamente
carefully
la madre.
guarding the mother and the child in his heart.
Y así es el camino
And
de la
that's the path for the entire church throughout all history, the suffering church,
que en medio de
that in the midst
dificultades,
of the difficulties, of the sufferings,
de los dolores,
of the
como
pains,
San José,
like Saint Joseph, we want to always walk
cargando
carrying
madre al niño.
the mother and the child in our hearts.
Ahí tenemos la fuerza
There we have the strength to move forward in the desert, in the cold, the difficult circumstances. And what else? That we remember that Saint Joseph is also our protector. If we have to walk in the way of the cross, how Our Lady and Saint Joseph and Jesus also had to. That the entire church in her pains has Saint Joseph, his presence, his protection, and he will guide us like he guided the child and the mother through a sure path in the midst of those difficulties and sufferings. And perhaps a resolution, remembering the suffering of the innocent children, Our Lady and Saint Joseph and the Lord. I think that when they returned to Nazareth, they wanted to, only with their family love, help rebuild a new culture. A culture that has as its heart the dignity of life. If we truly want a better world, if we want a truly Christian world, there's no other gospel more luminous than the birth of Christ, who tells us, please, protect me, protect life, the dignity of every child, of their original innocence, that there may not be any more innocent martyrs, that we may have a world in which children can be children and children of God. We ask through the intercession of Saint Joseph for the fortitude, so that we may have in our hearts the mother and the child in the difficult moments, and that we always remember that he is with us, and that we have that responsibility. Let, like Saint Joseph, protect the life of every child, so that we have a culture truly worthy of the human person, because it's worthy of the child. We conclude with these words of our Mother Foundress, the consecration to Saint Joseph that many have prayed today. Saint Joseph, you who were knower, you who knew suffering, teach me to suffer for Christ, uniting all of my sufferings to him through his mother, and to suffer with serenity and meekness, embracing the cross that the Lord allows, not fleeing from it, without seeming to abandon my faith, hope, and trust in the Lord. And I ask you that you guard us, the life of the mother, the life of the child in the womb, all for the heart of Jesus through the heart of Mary.